The AI revolution is disrupting industries across the board. From tech to retail to the auto sector, artificial intelligence is changing the way we do business. In fact, corporate spending on AI surpassed $50 billion last year, according to MIT and the Boston Consulting Group, and it's expected to reach even higher levels in 2021. Now that cash is being put to work not only by traditionally digital industries, but also by companies in the medical and biopharma space. AI is being used in drug discovery and research and development, therapeutics, and predictive analysis. For more on this digital transformation, I'm joined by Rebecca Yu, Vice President of Gastroenterology at Takeda Canada. Rebecca, why is a digital transformation so top of mind for the pharmaceutical industry?
I would say that the reason why it's so top of mind most recently is because of the COVID pandemic. It's accelerated and our understanding of why there's a huge need for us to actually move quicker. We know that a lot of the other industry has been already playing in this space for the longest time, and they're very well aware of the different channels that they can access through the digital world. But pharma industry has not actually come at the same speed. And now, in the COVID pandemic, we see that everybody is working in a digital world, probably about 5 years faster than they normally would have. And yet, we are seeing also companies who were actually better prepared in the digital world have done better during this pandemic than the companies have not. And this has sent a clear message to the pharma world and the industry that we need to do better and we need to do it faster. And I would tell you, every company that I talk to, every executive in the pharma industry, digital is a top priority for all of them.
What is the reason for the industry lagging others when it comes to digitalization?
I think one of the things is actually culture. And, people talk a lot about, is it the technology? Is it having the right expertise? It's having the right culture and the mindset. So it means bringing in the right talent, upscaling your talent. What we've seen also is those employees that actually don't have a technical background are the ones that are more reluctant and willing to embrace the digital world. Those that do have the technical background are the ones that will. But, on the other hand, those are in the areas that, don't have the technical background do require digitalization. So how do you upscale those employees and have that understanding? So part of it is to have the senior management to be engaged and to be agreeable. I know the company I work at right now, all the senior leaders are very supportive of digital. So now the next step is how to take that approach where that is distilled down from up and down and across the organization, also at a grassroots level.
Can you tell us about some of the main ways artificial intelligence is being used in the pharmaceutical industry?
So I'm aware of several startups just from my previous lives, if you will. And, a couple of ones that I'm very excited about that I've remembered is like Winterlight, for example, and they work in AI in Alzheimer's disease and a way of using speech patterns to identify whether a patient has Alzheimer's. Two other ones that I know of, Cyclica, they work in drug discovery as well as DNA stack. So these are startups that, in my opinion, the pharma industry needs to learn from and embrace in terms of their mindset and agility of how they look at a problem, use AI, and approach it.
Well, speaking of startups, ODAIA is a startup that's using artificial intelligence. How useful is their product Maptual for the pharmaceutical industry?
So I met ODAIA through some of the startup work that I did do before, so through Mars and a few investors that I do know of startups. And I was quite intrigued when I heard about the work that they were doing, and they're using AI and the data that's available and how to use AI and combine with that data for all of us to gain insights on, customer preferences, what are insights that we can get from it, how do we provide value to the right customer? And so, we're having early discussions and talking about it. And I know there's certainly interest from many pharmaceutical companies out there.
Okay, looking ahead 5 years from now, how is artificial intelligence changing the way the pharmaceutical industry does business?
I would say the business will be very different than it is now. I think we would all have to depend on artificial intelligence on many things. I talked about manufacturing to drug discovery to, gaining insights on customers and understanding patient and customer preferences, for example, and to things like even, how do, I know of a company who deal with government affairs. So, those are all aspects of the pharmaceutical industry. I know typically in the past, everybody thinks the pharmaceutical industry, R&D, and AI is only R&D. It's not just R&D. It needs to touch all aspects of the business. And I think, as my other part is as a healthcare professional, I'm hoping that AI can actually accelerate, ultimately getting outcomes and cures to the patients and really improving patient outcomes. And I think that really is the ultimate goal.